Well, double check where you're storing those pool noodles. A family in Arizona reported finding a rattlesnake inside of one.
Oh.
Yeah, so scary. Other families have made similar discoveries and posted videos on YouTube. Watch as the snake fell out of that center of the tube noodle. The Buckeye Fire Department in Arizona shared a warning on their Facebook page about it. They say the family left the noodle outside, and the next time they used them, out popped a rattlesnake with her babies. Fortunately, the snake didn't bite anyone. The family's warning has now been shared hundreds of times, and oh, I would not want to find that.
Well, and what scares me, I have noodles laying out in the grass right now.
Don't put your face near them.
I'm going to look at them before the kids grab them, that's for sure.
Yes, that'll be good.
All right, loud parties.